Well, good afternoon. It's old Chainsawbob, and we're out for another nice little ride down in southern Fannin County, Georgia. And we're heading down for Two Wheels campground down here, just for a little ride, just to see what's going on down there today. Put my sun specs on here, and we'll look down here if you can see this. We're averaging 86.2 miles to the gallon. It's 3:59 in the afternoon, and it's 16.3 miles from my house down here. And we're on the Bergman 200 today. So if you can see all that, I hope you can. Let's point this down here again. My Bergman gets considerably better fuel mileage than this is a 200, than my 150 Ice Bear Charlie Chan gets. Charlie Chan gets about, near as I can tell, about 60 miles a gallon. And this one runs anywhere from maybe 75 to 85 miles a gallon, just depending on how hard you're riding. But anyway, we're just out for a little afternoon scoot. Friend of mine, I was friends with him, and I'm friends with both his sons, passed away and was buried yesterday. And I was having one of them sick days that I have every now and then, where I just feel horrible, and I didn't even get to go to his funeral or go to the funeral home because I just was not up to doing it. Now, I guess that's just the way it is when you get to be an old man, you know. And his dad was just a few months older than I was, and I guess my days are coming one of these days too, you know. Well, everybody has one of those days. But my wife and I both felt bad yesterday. She's undergoing chemotherapy for cancer, and she has her days too, you know, that she feels good and that she don't. She's lost about 80 pounds on taking the chemotherapy. So we're just hanging on to life here and try to enjoy what we have left of it. Still making a video or two every now and then, but I've slowed down a little bit. If you remember me, kind of had to. And here I sit here and had my helmet off to start this camera, and put it back on and didn't put my chin strap on. Get this thing on here, and then we'll get ready and do a little bit of a ride down through here. These gloves here, as you see, come from Harbor Freight, and I bought these gloves in 2012, which is 10 years ago, to go out to Colorado and ride out there, Silverton and Durango and the Ori and that area out through there, and then on out into Utah, and rode some out there. And I'm still wearing these gloves. They're pretty good gloves. They're starting to get a little nasty, but they still work. So let's go off up this little road here. It's a pretty little road up through here. When I first discovered this road, it hadn't been paved, but it's a little nicer now it's been paved. Sort out in what you might call the boondocks. whatever that's supposed to mean. I really don't know. Be interesting to find out where that term comes from. We're going to pop over and look out over this valley right here. Pretty place. People out there fishing. Mountains in the background. Toccoa River's beautiful. It really is. There's the other side. So let's get on down the road here a little ways. Silver Fox was that road we're coming down. Silver Fox Trail. I guess I must carry on too much about how beautiful it is here in Fannin County, Georgia. It's hard not to just try to tell people about it. It's so beautiful here. Such a nice place up here in the mountains. I just love riding out here. Love being out here. Look at that. Hay for sale. 4x4 rolls. I just looked down there. I'm still averaging 82.1 miles per gallon. I sat there and idled for a few minutes while I was changing batteries in the camera, and should have shut the engine off, I guess. as you can see in the mirror there, I'm wearing my overalls today. As I've got to be an old man, why I like wearing these things more and more. When I was a kid, a young kid, I used to have them when, you know, I was like 7 or 8, and I didn't like them because a lot of the kids didn't wear them, you know, in school and stuff, and I didn't like to wear them. But boy, as you get older and everything, these things are so comfortable to wear, you know, and got pockets everywhere. This is a little campground right here. I led a ride for the Tennessee Dual Sports back a few years ago, and that was where they stayed the night there. And I took them on a midnight ride and took them up to an old country cemetery on top of a mountain. And about midnight, as a spook ride, you know. And it was really kind of funny, you know. We'd all ride dual sports. Of course, dual sport bikes don't really have the best lights of the night, you know, to ride with. And almost all dirt roads to get there, and mountain trails. That would have been an interesting video if it would have come out, but at the nighttime it wouldn't have. Love these curves down through here. That's one of the things this scooter likes to do, is ride the curves. I had this air cushion. There was a little square. It was made like printed up like a checkered flag. And when I went with 3 buddies, and we went to Billings, Montana. On our gold wings, and everybody's butt was bothering them, you know, and after riding all day for 2 or 3 days, you know, and so we got to where we traded that thing off, and I'd ride it for an hour, and I'd give it to somebody else, and they'd ride it on it, sitting on it for an hour, and they'd give it to somebody else, and then on back to me, you know. We were sort of buddies, I guess you'd say. Anyway, such as it was, it helped. I'd rather loan it out to them and let them use it as hear them gripe about how much their butt would hurt, you know. This is the Cooper's Creek area here. Got a friend that lives down here. You see a hole in that house right there where a tree fell through it. Wow. And I have took a lot of rides on YouTube. I've got, I believe it's 872 rides on YouTube. Well, they're still on there. It was 2 or 3 of them I took off there. That, after I made them and put them on there, I didn't really like what they were like, you know, and decided to delete them. I think that's what YouTube says it is. And I've had just over 700,000 people view my videos now in the last 10 years or so, 10 or 11 years. I'm not sure whether I started in 2010 or 2011 or 2012. I'm not sure the date on that. I guess I can go back on YouTube and look to see what the date that was that I published those. But somehow I was hoping before I quit doing videos, I was going to make it to 1,000. Now I'm wondering if I'm actually going to make it to 900 or 800 or 900, I guess it is. And here we are in beautiful downtown Suches, Georgia. Such as it is. We do have a school here. And we're down here at Two Wheels, right up here on the right. We'll just swing down and kind of ride through there. Don't look like there's hardly anybody left there today. Most of them's already gone. Yeah, missed all the things, all the people. That's all right. Beautiful place.